Earlier this month, the Agriculture Department reported an outbreak of avian flu on a commercial chicken farm in Ekurhuleni here in Gauteng. The department says further genetic evaluation confirms it groups closely with the virus currently circulating in wild birds in Europe. Well, there's been no human infection and thus the risk to people is actually very low. Let's chat more about it now with the department's Animal Health Director, Dr. Mpho Maja. Dr. Mpho Maja, a very good morning. Thanks for your time. So give us a bit more detail about this outbreak. What is the strain of this virus?
Good morning and good morning to the eNCA viewers. The current strain is what we term highly pathogenic avian influenza. It's an H5N1 virus and it is related to the European strain as you have just mentioned. Fortunately for us, it has not been reported to affect people, so the consumers are safe and we can eat the poultry products.
So what's been done to actually contain the virus now? Just reading that there has to be a lot of culling that has been done. And just explain to us what's been done and just the losses suffered because of this.
The farms that are affected are immediately placed under quarantine, even just on suspicion, while we are waiting for the results. If it's a layer farm, the eggs are not allowed to move off the premises, and their birds are then culled because they cannot be sold anywhere else. So the damage to the industry is that they are going to be losing production. Our layer birds lay eggs for a year. So depending on at which stage the farm gets affected, they then lose production because the birds are then destroyed.
Is there any support then for these poultry farms that have suffered these losses?
Unfortunately, from the department side, the production systems could support if provinces have such support, but affected farms can apply for compensation with the department, with the directorate, in terms of the Animal Diseases Act.
So do we know how the strain, which you say has been reported in Europe, how it actually got here?
It's through migratory birds. There is a migratory belt of birds from Europe on the west coast of the continent coming down south. And when it is time for them to migrate back up, they migrate using the same route back to Europe. So it is transmitted by wild birds.
Well, Doc, I suppose there's a lot of concern maybe among consumers now to say, okay, you managed to catch this at this stage, but how do we know that we haven't actually eaten chicken that had this virus? And I know that it's really, you say it can't be transferred to humans, but people will be worried nonetheless. How do we know that, that some of us have not eaten this chicken already?
Fortunately for us, avian influenza kills chickens fairly quickly, as in within days. So we would know when a farm is affected. So that's the one consolation. But most importantly, we have a very robust meat inspection system. So the products that are on the shelf would have gone through the abattoir process, where before they are slaughtered, as well as after they are slaughtered and declared fit for human consumption. So all the product that you find on the shelf has gone through that process, and our department has given it the thumbs up as being fit for human consumption.
Oh, and
so the consumer doesn't have to worry.
And how are you monitoring produce now, or chickens or poultry at the moment, those that are currently still carrying on? How are you what checks, what measures are they taking to make sure this doesn't spread any further now, especially if they have operating poultry farms?
We have encouraged, together with the South African Poultry Association, all the poultry producers to improve their biosecurity measures. This will assist in preventing introduction or contact with wild birds. So anybody that sees any high mortalities, high deaths in their chickens should report it to the nearest state veterinary office or any official of agriculture. And this is our early warning system, and we can therefore then put the farm under quarantine to make sure that they do not put the next farm or the consumer or anybody else at risk.
All right, thanks very much, Dr. Mpho Maja there from the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Coming up.